no one really figured that what's happening today in terms of the hard censorship and the systematic method that's used to silence people on the internet would, would become so. I mean, the Carlson Tucker events of the last couple of days are an incredible development where he has pushed back.
Oh, yeah.
Because you mentioned earlier that, Gavin, head of the Proud Boys, he resigned from the Proud Boys in an attempt to mollify the wolf pack. And Tucker, who is not Gavin, he has many advantages over Gavin in this respect. He said, bring it on. Bring it on. Tune in. See what I actually have to say.
Well, I think one of the things I tweeted out, one big difference between Tucker and Gavin is, first of all, what's happening with Tucker is very transparent, right? And Tucker's a lot less controversial than Gavin. And there's no even pretense, I think, that there is a pretense that, I heard these clips and now I'm against Tucker Carlson. It's like, there's not one single person who wants Tucker fired now who didn't want him fired last week.
And right. So there are those differences, but as you point out, the transparency in the Tucker situation merely provides for us a schematic diagram of what still went on in the Gavin situation, just that it is obscured by his ability to generate genuine controversy and genuine, questionable taste type stuff, and it worked.
Is it of legal significance that they can say all these things about him, and now because he's been deplatformed, he is not in a position to respond?
Well, that is an argument we make in the complaint, which is that this is, as I put it when in a blog post, this is not your father's defamation. Defamation is usually we say in response to defamation, listen, answer back. Someone says that that you trip old ladies at the crossing crosswalk. So demonstrate. Of course, proving a negative is difficult, but prove why they're wrong, or demonstrate that they can't prove why you're right. That's not always really an effective defense because, again, it is hard to prove a negative.
Sure.
Nonetheless, that's the constitutional standard. But when you deplatform someone and you deprive them of the ability to answer critics, and there's no government censorship involved, so there's no obvious free speech or no obvious First Amendment issue.
Right.
But you have censorship taking place at the behest of either corporations or activist groups, or in some cases, foreign governments that have influence over either the corporations or the activist groups or both. That's something we have to really worry about. Is there a legal remedy for it? I'm searching for one. I think we might have found in Gavin's case. I mean, they couldn't be much more upfront about the fact that they made an effort to deprive someone of his livelihood and succeeded. So generally speaking, in commercial conduct, that is a tort. That's tortious interference with prospective economic advantage. There are also defamation claims, blah, blah, blah. I went through that already. That might be the answer. It might be we need some other answer that could pass constitutional muster. And I've written, when I say written, I mean I've tweeted lightly about the topic a little bit. I've discussed it with some people that you and I know together who are in the activist community. And we might have some ideas along those lines.